Hello and welcome to the Visionless Designs YouTube channel, the channel where you get to see all the things I can't. So today's video, my Black & Decker Workmates here. So I did a review of them a short while ago and well, I want to do an upgrade to them. I've had a few problems with them that I'd like to address. So one of the problems is the size of the top. It's not quite the right for me for what I want. I want it a bit deeper here for a bit extra support. And another problem is the width here. So if I get a clamp out, whoop, this is for my Festal guide rails when I'm trying to use them on here. There's nowhere for these to actually clamp onto comfortably. So it's not been very safe with it, which has been a bit of a pain. Just need it a little bit wider on the ends to give a better support for that. And another little mistake I made, which I sort of made a suggestion in the video, which please ignore. There was not enough holes in the top of these when it came, and I decided to put more holes in. It is 20mm. The Forstner bits I was using were inaccurate, so definitely get a 20mm, because going any bigger, so here, I didn't think there'd be a problem, but I don't know if you can see that, that is the wider hole, and it'll start lifting out because it's got a lot of movement in there. There's one of the older holes, there we go. When it's in, that's it, it's in, it isn't moving. So 20mm bits for all these holes are great. So while doing some work on the kiln, I had some leftover plywood panels. I came into the workshop and took this and just dropped it on there as it was available area, and then proceeded to keep using this as a work surface. And after a while I suddenly went, oh, this is actually pretty handy. It's got a good size there and it's got a good overhang for if I want to use my clamps. And as it's 1.2 meters long, my Festal guide rails will fit on here. Why don't I just use this then as the new top? And here we have it, the newly upgraded Workmate. As you can see, much bigger work surface and lots of holes. In fact, here we go. Here's the dog. Get a hole. There we go. He ain't budging there. And if we get a clamp on the end, see, goes on nice and easy. Think I could have done with an extra few feet, but I'm sure it'll do me for now. So the original way we were thinking of applying these tops to the old Workmate tops was to literally stick them on top of it. The problem with doing that though is it would have raised the height of this here, which would have decreased the height you have when using it as a vise this way. So as you can see here, you got a 2-inch gap. If I simulate here, what would have happened if I'd applied it that way? The gap would have been reduced to that. So for me, I need the height here when doing my benches because I like to clamp things on the sand. So this is not the way to do it. You want to apply the sheets to the runners that are already on it. So the way we actually did it in the end, if I lift this up here, I reused the original runners that came with it, as well as applying this board here. The purposes of this is to stop any flex in the 18mm structural ply, and as well as that, it gives more support on these runners to stop it from toppling over. As you can see, there's a large area between there and here, so it gives it a lot more support. Over here on the ends, as I mentioned earlier about the flex, you can see, because I haven't got the support there, it has a bit of flex on it. Doesn't bother me too much because all the weight will be on the middle here, where I'll mostly be focusing on. I may end up trimming these down. I'm going to see just how much I actually need the full width of it, but for now it's going to do me fine. The main disadvantages of this upgrade has been the extra weight on it. So I've got to carry it around places. It's a bit heavier. The other thing is the extra size, as well as being good, it also means that as I'm carrying it around, I've got a much wider arc to actually hit things. which for me, as I can't see where I'm going, means there's a much bigger danger zone around me. The other downside is it will no longer stand freely on its own. So the old ones, they used to stand okay, but the way to resolve this would be to simply add something to throw it off backwards here. I'm not too fussed about it myself because when I put this in storage, it's got something to lean on anyway. I may add it later, but for now, it's not something that bothers me. Another disadvantage of making the Workmate bigger is when using wood like this. I like to round off the edges here with the sanders, but of course when I get to the Workmate, I can't sand down there very well. This was a lot easier on the old ones, as they weren't as deep, I had a lot more space to go down there. So it's one of those, for doing work like this, you want it to be narrow, for everything else you want it wide. As you can see here, I've got the two Workmates. I've got the new upgraded one here, and here I've got the old one. I'm going to keep the old one as it is for now, as it's a lot handier for doing the vertical clamping, whereas this new upgraded one is better as a work surface, as well as for clamping in general, with all these extra holes on. Regarding the holes, ignore what I said in the review, get a 20mm bit. In the end, I ended up using one of these. This is the Bosch 20mm speed cut spade bit. It drove through this like butter, and I heavily recommend it, but that's kind of a future review. Spoilers. So yeah, if your Workmate's not meeting your requirements, upgrade it. Right, so thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you liked it. Don't forget to check out the website, visionlessdesigns.com, where you'll find all my products to help support the channel, as well as links to all my social media and Etsy store. Links are also in the description below, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. See you in future videos.